Hey up, Sofa Squad, and welcome to On the Sofa number 60. And it's just me and Will this evening, by the looks of things, or Will's chair at least. But he's doing something very important at the moment.
Always. Oh,
Hello, Will.
I am your friendly American Yahoo. Hello, hello. Come with my American opinion.
Mhm. And in the chat, we've got Greg and we've got Stall as well. And we've got a special guest in the chat tonight. Liz Truss, everyone. Stall?
Everybody, I'm kind of jumping the shark and telling everybody if I had a vote, I'd be voting for Liz Truss. She's a stout woman, and I would love to hold her hand, much as Kay Burley as well.
So Liz, if you're watching, jump in. I'd love to talk. Would love to talk to you and pick your brains about what's going on.
Now
So yeah,
that would
and
that would get the views.
Purple's just joined in the chat as well. So and he's saying, she is saying, greetings, sentient beings, as always. Welcome, Purple, and welcome everyone who is watching on Twitter as well. So yeah,
it's been an interesting week, huh?
yeah, and if you remember last week, I predicted that Tom Tugendhat would be the dark horse, and he would and he'd win. He'd actually become the next leader. But he's not doing as well as I thought he would. He got through to the next round.
Barely.
But barely. Yeah, barely.
Oh, where's my chart? There was a chart for people like me.
But
and Stool was kind enough to post something on Twitter for the Americans on how your process works.
Oh, right, yeah. So he beat Suella Braverman. She's gone.
That was kind of a shock.
Yeah, but whether he'll get through to the next round, I don't know. It's not looking likely. I thought he might pull out, but I think what he may be doing, because there's going to be a debate on Sky News in a couple of days. I think he's going to hang around for the debate because he will probably do very well on the debate.
You think so?
Yeah, and I think that will gain him some votes in the next round. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anything can happen. A week is a long time in politics, they say.
Oh, absolutely. Even Richie Untouchable sellout Sunak could lose,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
do you know, I have never heard the word loyalty so many times as I have in the past 3 days.
Yeah.
They keep on I get it. You don't like him because he jumped the ship too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are quite angry with him because he stabbed Boris in the back. And
I'm not pro Richie Sunak, but I'm pro truth telling. So even though it took him that long, at least he did what was right. And those other rats, they snouts down. It was all snouts down, and they were mad because he finally decided to stand up and say something.
Yeah, but Jacob Rees-Mogg, very publicly said that he would not accept a place in Rishi Sunak's cabinet because of how disloyal he was to Boris Johnson.
And I say this every week, but I can't stand Jacob Rees-Mogg. He just looks like he has a bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And you know what? he's another one who is loyal to a default. I really I appreciate people who are loyal, but let's be
Mm.
real. Boris
Yeah.
Johnson, utterly and completely, has taken your country on the brink of it's the 80s all over again. It's quite literally back to where it was in the 80s.
Well, yeah, almost, yeah. Um, but we're talking of taking things back to the 80s. Rishi Sunak did say that he was going to run the economy like Thatcher. And yet, some of his rivals are saying that he's too left wing. So I don't know what that is all about.
That just means that he's not going to oppress people. Because I don't know what's the name of the woman who's the new dark horse who came out of nowhere the other day? I
Oh,
need my chart.
Penny Mordaunt.
First thing they start asking
Yeah.
her is about gender neutral bathrooms. I literally
Yes.
almost spit out my coffee and I'm like, there are such bigger topics. Like we can all
Yeah.
fight about that later,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So I guess they consider her too left as well, you know?
Yeah. Nerdy was saying that Rishi Sunak loves £50 fines, and only he can fix the problems that Rishi Sunak caused with the economy. And he went on to say, hopefully there aren't any working class people here.
No, Richie Sunak is not 5'4". Is he?
Apparently so, yeah.
Liz Truss is 5'3". I am devastated today. I would tower over Richie Sunak.
Most people would. Let's face it. He's practically a hobbit.
Wow. Here in LA, we call Hollywood lights, glitz, and camera tricks. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing in the UK. They all appear to be much taller than what they are.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
That's crazy.
Purple was saying, is that the plan for fixing the economy? Fine everyone in the country £50. Yeah, probably. But I mean, so basically, Rishi Sunak is saying, I'll fix the economy that I broke in the first place. I broke the economy. I broke the economy as chancellor. Now I'll give me a chance to fix it as prime minister.
Last night, Lord What's His Face, when I was watching Kay Burley, he said the most logical thing. He was like, I really want you to think about this. If you're tired of Boris Johnson, why would you vote for anyone in his cabinet? Anyone.
Yeah.
It's kind of true because they're just good, because the second any of them win, it's just going to be all about leveling up and Brexit.
That's why I'm thinking, or maybe hoping, I guess, that Tom Tugendhat will win, because he's the only one who seems to be saying that he's going to start fresh.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to start again, with a clean slate. And I think there seems to be plenty of MPs who feel that that's the way to go, because he's got this far, but I don't think he'll get much. I don't think he'll get further, to be fair. So it seems to be that not enough Tory MPs want a clean slate. They want business as usual.
I consider that lazy. I honestly consider that lazy, because if I was to come in, I would be like, we're going to change everything.
Yeah.
This is not working. We're going to get rid of everything.
But Tom Tugendhat is he's more like David Cameron. He's more what is known as the one world Tories. He's more centre right. He's more of a centrist. He'd actually be welcome. He'd actually fit in Keir Starmer's Labour Party, to be honest.
I was just about to say, we're going to call them the new Tories. It worked with New Labour.
Yes. Yeah, this is new
I'm old.
Labour.
I'm
Yeah,
so old.
me too. Me too. But we're going to start off by explaining a little bit about how a new Tory leader is going to be chosen.
Okay.
This is from the Guardian. So let's skip a bit. It says, how will new Prime Minister be chosen? First, by Conservative MPs and then by party members. It is for them to determine a Tory leader who is then Prime Minister as the party has a Commons majority. So basically, what is happening? Oh, Purple is saying, I'm completely lost in your politics. Most everyone I could recognize has already resigned. I need a new program of the new cast. And well, yeah,
there will be a whole new bunch of shrubs to make fun of.
yes, yeah, but basically, what's going to happen? What is happening is that first the Tory MPs are voting for who they want to go through, and if they get they have to get each round they have to get so many votes to get through to the next round, until eventually they're left with two candidates.
Can I just say really quick, as an American, this seems like a popularity contest between your friends.
It is. It is a
Richie
popularity
Sunak and Sajid Javid are never going to talk again.
Probably
they
not. No.
hate each other.
Yeah. And and then when it gets down to the last two, the last two are put to the whole Conservative Party. Yeah, the entire Conservative member, every member of the Conservative Party gets to vote for who they want out of the last two, and it's going to take pretty much the whole summer. But apparently, we should have a new Prime Minister by September the 5th.
I heard that today we're supposed to know who the final two are.
No,
and this is according to hold on, let me go pray at my idol Kay Burley. Let me go on our Twitter page. Maybe I misunderstood the chart. Oh, that's weird. We're live on Twitter too.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So, anyways, what I want to know is, who was that woman in the yellow dress that flipped everybody off?
We're gonna talk about her in a minute.
Okay. Because I have a speech and I don't think it's going to go in the direction that you think it is.
Oh, okay. But we're gonna get there. But but basically, this contest is going to go on until the 5th of January.
Wow.
And then we'll know who the next prime minister, who the next leader of the Conservative Party is, and then by extension, rather, who the prime minister is.
Does that mean Boris Johnson is still in charge this entire time?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he is what is known as a caretaker prime minister.
Okay, so I asked this question last week. Has there ever been a caretaker prime minister?
Oh, yes, I think Theresa May was a kind of a caretaker prime minister until Boris took over.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I think, uh, I mean, some MPs who have been interviewed by Kay Burley have said, "Oh, we don't like that term, caretaker prime minister. He is the prime minister," but that's the best way to describe him, because
So he is neutered or censured in a way.
in a way, yeah.
Because that's basically the main implication when they say that snarky remark, like, oh, he's still the PM, he's still the PM. It's because he's still in the chair.
But he no longer has the support of the party. He's basically a caretaker prime minister in charge of a zombie government.
I almost spit my coffee out when you said it. Oh, that's the best description I've heard all week. They are zombies. Do you know, nothing is more depressing than having a do-nothing government. Right now, they're arguing about arguing. Meanwhile, the world's on fire. You know, like everything's going wrong. And they're like, well, we need to completely change everything right now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where we are. That's, that's where we are at the moment.
Greg has a very, very good question.
Does he have the nuclear?
Does he have the nuclear?
No, I don't think he does. I think the way it works, I think the president of the United States actually has the nuclear codes, because of as a fail-safe to make it more difficult to launch to launch the nukes. I think the president, has it.
That would make sense because, like the Pacific Fleet, we have more nuke poos floating out in the Pacific Ocean than any other country. So I could see how. And the UK, I think you only have 2 nuclear submarines. I could be wrong.
I don't know, actually. Sorry, I had to get something out of between my teeth. It was really bugging me.
Oh, I know how that is. I'm an American. It's a lie that we have good teeth.
But I've got it now. I've got it now.
Oh, you have 4 submarines. Sorry, Stool. Sorry, my apologies.
We're 4 submarines. Fear us.
If you ever get bored, look up the Pacific Fleet just on the West Coast. America has an outrageous amount of warships and ships in general on the Pacific Ocean. Or for those who don't know how to speak this Pacific Ocean.
But here we go. Yeah, Tory MP Andrea Jenkins sticks middle finger up at Buy Boris crowd sparking fury. And there's supposed to be a video to accompany this story, but it seems to be buffering. I'm not sure if we're going to get it, but
well, that hottie was your there she is. She was your thumbnail.
Yeah. But there she is anyway.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, if I acted like this at my job, I would get fired. And my job is run by nepotism. Purple saying, I only got through the Trump presidency by holding on to the belief that someone had made an international typo in the codes they gave him. and he goes on to she goes on to say the Pacific Ocean is between the US and Japan. Between the US and UK is the general ocean. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Nerdy is saying it's almost as if the politicians hate the scummy general public. Ooh, working class people.
This is what drives me mentally insane, okay? Where I'm
Mm.
from, if you're a welder or if you're wearing dirty coveralls, you make 9 times more money than the average person. So here in
Yeah,
America, the working class person makes a lot of money.
yeah,
So it bothers me when people spit on the working class, and that is the epitome of the Boris Johnson government right there.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
hooray for me and F you.
yes. Um, yeah, so yeah, she was on her way into number 10, and there were protesters singing "Bye Bye Boris." And don't worry, I'm not going to sing. And so she flipped them off basically, and she gave a kind of non-apology later on, saying that I was stressed out. There's there was a baying mob that I had to walk past. Uh, and
Here's the problem. Oh, sorry. Rich people will have no remorse because she's going to go and fake remorse, and then she gets to go back to her beautiful house, her
yeah,
giant flat, her beautiful life. She's probably in Spain right now on vacation when no one else can
probably,
leave the country.
yeah, and yeah. So and she was saying that uh, she's had death threats in the past, and she was just wound up, and she lost her temper.
Is
So
two fingers still an insult in your country if you go like this to somebody?
it is, yeah, yeah. That's that. Yeah, that is an insult.
I would even see, because to an American that's like a sideways peace sign.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that is I think people are beginning to do that here as well. But that's fuck off.
Yeah.
Basically.
So
Mm.
so nothing's basically, because she's rich and she's part of that world. She's just gonna move on with her life, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be no repercussions.
Mm. No, no, no. Of course, there's going to be no repercussions.
I'm telling you, like, if I acted like that at my job, I would be fired. And my job is ran by people that look like me, that I'm
Yeah,
related to.
yeah.
Even they have standards.
But she's showing contempt for for people who for the for the general public, some of whom could potentially vote for her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Excuse me. I'm really, really nice to my neighbors, just in case one day I'm gone and there's smoke in my backyard or something. you know,
Yeah,
Be, you know, being an a-hole to everybody is never a good plan.
yeah, exactly. And and then there's this guy. The I, I
Okay, so really quick note to all twinkish guys. All right, let's go on Grandpa Sewing's couch real quick. If you're gonna take a picture like this, do a bunch of push-ups before, and make sure you have an even tan. I can't even look this guy in the eye. Yikes, I saw this. And when you think you're really, really buff and sexy, there's other people who won't.
And this is MP Brendan Clark Smith. Apparently, he did this in the middle of the pandemic to take the piss out of NHS staff who were pleading with people to wear a mask. So he put one on his knob. What a lovely guy.
That's really. Oh, I want to know how he got the straps around his legs. He had to work. He had to work to get that. And there's nothing behind there either.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you owned him. And now you look like a complete idiot, and it's saved on the internet forever.
Yeah.
He looks like a rookie twink. He looks like a newcomer.
And but who does that? Oh dear.
That is somebody who is sexually repressed and needs therapy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nerdy Rodent is saying, yes, two fingers is a British insult, whereas one finger is an American insult. You would have expected an education secretary to know this.
That's why I was kind of like, who is she? Like I got what she was saying.
Yeah.
And in other countries, if you flip someone the bird, they won't even know what it is.
Yeah, this is it.
If I went to a non-Western country, they'd be like, "What are you doing? What the hell's wrong with you? Why are you telling me I'm number one?"
Yeah. Um,
You don't have to look that up in my iPhone graveyard over here.
but everything that's going on at the moment, with this, with the leadership race, is, is a distraction from other shit that's going on. Shit
Absolutely.
like this. Boris Johnson pushed for lover to get City Hall job during abuse of power relationship.
He is such a corrupt piece of garbage. That's why I keep on asking, like, how long is he going to be in office?
I know. Yeah, he's it says here the ousted prime minister allegedly advocated for a role for the woman in 2008, just weeks after they met while he was serving as mayor of London. The Sunday Times said the unnamed woman was interviewed for a City Hall job when Mr. Johnson was married. The appointment is said to have been blocked by his colleague Kit Malthouse, now a minister in the outgoing PM's caretaker cabinet, said the pair appear to have an inappropriately close relationship.
So I have a question for you, because I don't know if I can necessarily judge Boris Johnson in this light. Is it wrong if you meet your significant other, if you're in a position of power? Is it wrong?
If you meet them,
Like, I'll give you a perfect example. I met my ex-wife at my job.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So was it wrong if you get with and trust me, I will never ever fraternize with an employee for as long as I live ever again in my life. I learned the lesson. But I'm just saying, is it wrong if you fraternize with somebody who's a subordinate?
Yeah, it's certainly a conflict of interest.
I'm not saying I'm not a corrupt official. I'm not saying I'm not.
But
where's that? Because I think Boris Johnson is a corrupt piece of garbage. Is it wrong if you're in charge of the nation? Is it wrong if you're in charge of a company? Because we were saying earlier, power, when you have power, money and power, there's a different set of rules,
Yeah. I'm just gonna there's actually a recording. I'll just share it with you.
Blowjobs for money.
Hang on.
Blowjo sounds like an Olympic runner.
I did suggest you for a role, and I was very disappointed when you didn't get that role. I remember it. But it would have been proper for me to have pushed you or done something that favoured you in a abnormal way. You can't just machine friends into jobs. You can't. Not in City Hall. I suggested you for the job. I was very keen for Kit to interview. I remember Kit interviewed you. I asked him about it afterwards repeatedly, why he hadn't given you the job. And I was very disappointed he hadn't. I remember. And I'm afraid one of the reasons he gave was that he thought you were too friendly with me. No, I'm incredibly fucking busy. I tried to meet you the other day. Jesus fucking asshole. I tried to meet you. Okay, apart from the three men say Boris Johnson is a bastard. And finally, I would say nothing.
I love it when the British demeanor cracks and people start cursing. I love that.
Yeah.
That was the real Bojo right there.
Yeah. And Purple saying it's a bad idea. Neither of you can ever trust that the other is being completely honest or ulterior motivations.
I agree now.
Yeah.
Now I agree. It was.
But that was the real Boris Johnson we heard there. Yeah, that is a completely different Boris Johnson to the Boris Johnson, the lovable buffoon that we see in front of the cameras. That was the real Boris Johnson, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. He looks down. He's another one who has spent his entire life separate from everybody else. And I know this is a terrible reference, but if anyone has ever read his book about his car obsession, it shows how he's in outer space. He wrote a book about all the cars he's owned and his experiences. He comes from a different world.
Yeah, yeah.
16-year-olds don't own exotic sports cars unless your parents are super rich. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
In my family, we own tractors. It's not as fancy as a Porsche. He comes from a different world. And again, just like what's her face flipping people off, Boris Johnson, he can't understand why he's being kicked out for lying. Do you know he has yet to say that he got fired or that he was removed of office? He keeps on saying, in my time.
Yes.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
Are you gonna talk about PMQs?
Yes, we are.
Oh, that was, I'm gonna tell you, it was worth staying up. Like I was debating, like, should I stay up for this? And I was like, this is like hockey. I had never seen it people so riled up. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yes. I'm just trying to find the story.
When do you know? See, in America, we couldn't have that because we would be in the hallway getting in fistfights. We're not that classy. We couldn't even have the yelling and the shouting because we take everything personal in America.
Yeah.
So there would be fistfights in the hallway. That's why we're like people are shocked at Marjorie, what's her face, Green's behavior and Lauren Boebert because they're insane. People just don't act like that,
Yeah.
In America, if you don't like someone, you don't clap for them. At least in the chamber. It's so true. It's so true. That's why your the PMQs are so lit. They're all that.
We've got it here.
Oh.
Order! I say to the honourable gentleman, I will not tolerate such behaviour. If you want to go out now. But if you stand again, I will order you out. Make your mind up. Either shut up and get out.
Oh, dear.
I warn the honourable member that if there's protesting carrying out, just shut up a minute.
Awesome.
Just somebody walk to a once. Order. Sit down, you won't be in the future. I now warn of the honourable members that if they persist in refusing to comply with my order to withdraw, I shall be compelled to name both of them, which may lead to them being suspended from the House. Right, names.
How Shakespearean. I name you. I name you.
Ensure that the honourable member complies. Can it? What's the names?
Neil Hanvey and Penny.
I order. Shut up. Shh. Neil Hanvey, I am now naming you and Kenny McCaskill to leave this chamber. Sergeant, deal with them. Deal with them. Deal with them. Just sit down. Oh, no. Sergeant at arms, escort them out.
Like a biker club. Like a motorcycle club.
Take them out, Sergeant.
God. Oh,
Oh, they had to call the sergeant at arms like they're in a biker gang.
Come on.
Insurrection.
No, then let's just see if we can. Mr. Costa, you don't want to go and escort them to the tea room, do you? No, I suggest not. I think you're good and better behaved than that. Right, we'll try again after that.
yeah.
That was awesome. That was worth staying up till 6 a.m. That was have you ever seen anyone ever get kicked out of the chamber like that?
No, I've not like that. No, I mean I've seen members of parliament getting told to leave before.
Me
but
too.
I've never seen the Speaker of the House get as angry as that.
Well, because there's rules. You can't say my honorable friend is an idiot or a liar, but you can say like, I do not think my honorable friend is a liar, but everything he said was complete horse dung.
Labour MP Dennis Skinner once famously said, half of the Tory MPs are crooks, and he got told by the Speaker of the House to withdraw that, and he said, okay, sorry, half of the Tory MPs aren't crooks.
Genius. See, I love that. That's genius. Yeah. He was red-faced. He was saying the word shut up. You know where I'm from, if you shut up is right before people start swinging at each other. You tell someone shut up, that's like uh-oh. Those are literally fighting words.
Yeah. But this was
gold.
Yeah, this was gold. It was apparently it was 2 Alba Party MPs. They were named and they had to leave the Commons.
And that's another thing. So he had to read the rules out because those are the rules. And then once they're named, they're gone, right?
Yeah.
That's some Doctor Who stuff. I name you Carrionite.
Yeah.
Great episode. They meet Shakespeare. Great episode.
Yeah. And Purple was saying, in every conflict, we rely on numbers and superior weapons to overcome our incompetence.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me, I put something on Facebook because I'm friends with a lot of really right-wing people. I was like, warn your children that if I catch them dressed like they work at Best Buy, I will beat them up. You know, because those right-wingers are wearing blue shirts and khaki pants. It doesn't get tolerated around here. That does not get tolerated.
I bet.
Oh, it's true though. We as Americans, we do rely on numbers. The police, everybody relies on numbers, you know.
Yeah. But this is interesting. Boris Johnson accused of trying to derail Rishi Sunak's bid to be next Prime Minister.
They're literally
Tories say former Chancellor is the main focus of the ousted leader's anger as bitter infighting breaks out.
Every single person that is still aligned with Boris Johnson has called Rishi Sunak a sellout or hinted towards it. Every single person.
Yeah.
And Greasy Moggs went up there and said it in every way that he could
Yeah.
that Richie Sunak is a sellout.
Yeah.
Which, if you really think about it, they're all sellouts because they've sold out their country for this Trump.
Yeah. Yes. But the thing is, most of the people who are hoping to take over from Boris Johnson, it wasn't that long ago that they were saying how great they were going on news programs, saying how great it was. So you're saying what a great job he was doing of running the country.
Absolutely.
But Liz Truss is basically, she's going to be a female Boris Johnson. That's basically her what's the word I'm looking for? Her selling point. That's basically what she's saying.
I watched her press conference this morning, last night for me, and she is the female Boris Johnson. Everything that she said, I'm going to continue Brexit. I'm going to, she's basically promising to continue to keep the shit going. Is what she's like.
Yeah,
I will continue to make sure all this crap keeps on going in a terrible direction.
Yeah. Oh, and Nerdy Rodent is saying Liz Truss is great at finding exits. Because at the end of her press conference, she got lost trying to find her way out.
Oh, that's the worst.
Of a room with only one door. And one of her aides had to direct her in the right direction.
That's the worst when you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. I think I may have that somewhere.
Have you? I'll bring up Charles Bronson later, but don't let me leave here without talking about Charles Bronson.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll bring it up later.
But yeah, so yeah, if Liz Truss becomes Prime Minister, that's it. I'm leaving the country. She's incompetent.
Oh, absolutely. You can move to California. You could smoke pot and be as gay as you want to be here. California is a lovely place.
I can't find it. Anyway, but yeah, she got lost and had to be shown the right way to leave out of a room with just one door. So yeah, that's but I don't think she'll win. But we don't know. That's the thing.
It's changed so much just in the past 5 days. It's not even funny. Yesterday, Kate Burley asked a question, because now they're having supporters of each person come on and say their presentation or whatever. And she asked the Rishi Sunak supporter, she's like, look, I've been in television a long time. Because Rishi Sunak's commercial literally came out the same day that Boris Johnson became the caretaker. Okay. And she was like, look, how long was Rishi Sunak planning this?
Yeah, I saw that.
She's like, look, I've been on TV a long time. Like, and like it's right. My crappy videos I make, it takes me a minute to make those videos.
Oh yeah.
Just don't throw them up,
Yeah.
So Rishi Sunak, in a way, was kind of planning to run for PM anyways. He had a commercial ready.
Yeah.
It takes a while. Like you have to have money to have such a well-made commercial like that. She was right. She called him out. Yeah, and
he apparently he had what is it? Rishi for or ready for Rishi.com or whatever it is set up a week before this all kicked off. So he's been planning this shit for a while.
Exactly. And they're still denying it. And that's the one thing that really pisses me off about all politicians. We can see what we literally have proof. And they're like, no, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
Like, we have proof, you dummy. What are you
Yes.
talking about? Like,
Yeah. And that could be another reason why he's so far ahead. Not just because he's a recognizable name and he's got experience in the cabinet, but also because of his slick advertising campaign. And you're right, he's the richest member of parliament, and he's got a billionaire wife as well.
wow.
So he's got the money to throw at this campaign. So you can bet no expense has been spared to put this campaign together
At all.
and
At all. And in
it does look
America,
really slick. It does. It really does.
there's a number on it. Like, in America, you have to have a certain amount of money and you can become president.
Yeah.
Like, there's a literal number, because all you have to do is just keep advertising and advertising, because people are very sheepish. We don't think we are. We think we're so independent, but we're not.
Yeah. And this next story is from the Independent. Chancellor Nadeem Zahawi's tax affairs under investigation by HMRC. Hang on, let's get rid of all of this. So yeah, this is Nadeem Zahawi, who just recently became the new Chancellor of the Exchequer. He's apparently being investigated by Her Majesty's
Her Majesty's
Revenue, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, and also the National Crime Agency. His finances are being investigated by the National Crime Agency as well.
Oh, wow.
And officers and apparently the Independent has also established that officers from the Serious Fraud Office investigated the Chancellor's financial affairs. The probe was then passed to HMRC, which falls under the control of the Treasury, the department that Mr. Zahawi now runs. A CNN Whitehall source confirmed that the tax investigation is currently unresolved. And he basically. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, where I'm from, once you start talking about taxes, you're gonna probably go to jail.
Yeah.
When you start messing around with millions of dollars and not paying your taxes, even I pay my taxes.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with large sums of money, you will go to jail.
Yeah.
At least here in America, they don't mess around when you mess with Dr. Money.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Liz Truss is saying still better than Boris.
That's right. That's right, Liz. You fight him to the end.
But Nadeem Zahawi, he was saying that there's no truth in this whatsoever. That this is just a smear campaign. This is a dirty trick smear campaign by some of the other candidates, and he's denied that this is happening. But
I wonder if there's a list of the lies that Boris Johnson has told.
There probably is.
We have to
somewhere.
be in the high 300s by now. or 500s.
But
he's almost on an American level of lying, because Americans have perfected like talking to you and lying as you're like, hey, that house is on fire. They're like, no, it's not. I'm barbecuing.
Yeah. It's
oh man.
I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but he practically bullied Boris Johnson to give him the role of Chancellor of the Exchequer, saying, unless you give me this job, I'm quitting. And so now he's in charge of the treasury, of the very treasury, who are supposedly investigating his finances. So make of that what you will.
I'm going to tell you right now, I would be like, let's get rid of this case. Let's get rid of this case and that one over there too.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. See, this is the never-ending corruption, though.
Yes. Exactly.
Can it be fixed at all, or is it like just a sinking ship? Because what's going to happen? What's going to happen is a Boris clone is going to come into office, and then it's just going to be same pig, different lipstick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. It doesn't matter who takes over from Boris Johnson. We're still fucked. You know, they're still going to continue with Brexit.
Exactly.
Which is still going to fuck the economy.
Do you think the union is going to split up?
That's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen. 10, 15 years. 15 years tops, I reckon.
So basically, the people in charge are like, I just don't want to be the ones who are around when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Because that's basically what they're doing right now, is they're trying to stop independence. And if history will teach you one thing, even in peacetime, you can't stop independence.
Yeah. Boris Johnson blocks no confidence vote in his own government. This is the news that the Labour Party called for a vote of no confidence in Boris Johnson because they are arguing that he will do a lot more damage in the next month or so, as a caretaker prime minister, if he's left there, if he's left in charge. So they tried to call for a vote of no confidence in him, but he blocked it, which goes against the I was going to say the Constitution, but we don't actually have one written down.
But this is why,
it goes against the ministerial code. Certainly.
This is why I asked earlier of how much power does he have? Because this is exactly why I would boot him so far out of office. I would make him move to Zimbabwe. Like, goodbye, get out of here. Yeah. Go be a hobbit and live in New Zealand.
Yes.
But I wouldn't want to do that to New Zealand or Zimbabwe, but I'm just saying, like.
Yeah. But bizarrely enough, he's now saying that there can be a vote of, I think it's a vote of no confidence in the government, not in him specifically, but in the government. That can go ahead. Because I think the reason he blocked the vote of no confidence against him, because he knew he would lose that. But I think he's more confident that if it's against the government generally, it won't go through. And so that's why I think he's allowing that one to go through. But we'll see. We'll see what actually happens.
I don't know how he could. He's literally been told to leave office. Yeah. But because he knows the key code to the door.
Yeah.
This goes back to what I asked last week. What is the point of having a deputy prime minister if he's not going to step in for moments like this, he or she?
Yeah, I don't know. I would have thought that the deputy prime minister would step in, but apparently it doesn't work that way. Because
here in America, if the president even gets a flu and starts acting weird, the vice president becomes the president. If anything happens,
and
it's known. That's why the job of the vice president is actually important job.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently it doesn't work that way.
Ooh, Dominic Raab, right?
Yeah,
Was the deputy prime minister?
that's right. Yeah, he's the deputy prime minister at the moment. Yeah.
Even Dominic Raab, which Dominic, let's talk. Shave your hair. Your hairline is up here. We have the same hairline. I had major hair loss. I just shaved my head.
Mm.
I just shaved my head.
Anyway, we've got one more story, and then we got Charles Bronson.
Oh yeah. Still the governor, mate.
Yeah.
Legend.
But this happened at the beginning of the week, but it's been overshadowed by the Tory leadership race. But Keir Starmer has officially been cleared by Durham police over Beergate, and so has Angela Rayner and everyone else who was there.
So in this press conference, when he walked out like he was in the WWE on a cloud. And you know what? I was there for it. I would have walked out, cocky walk too, like you guys can all go stuff yourself, all of you, because this is all they had on this guy. And you know what? He, as somebody who is pure cardboard, he is stiffer than a board, but he's still better than Boris.
Yes. Yeah. And so, and the Daily Mail ran this story. I think it was 6 days in a row. Putting pressure on the police to reinvestigate him over this so-called Beergate. And but the thing is, what these people are forgetting, that Keir Starmer, he was one of the top lawyers in the country. Yeah, he was the Queen's Counsel. Okay, he was, so he's got a keen political he's got a keen lawyer's mind, and analytical mind. So you just know he would have gone through all the evidence with a fine-tooth comb, and that's why he was so confident that he was not going to be found guilty for this. And so that's why he was able to confidently stand up and say, if I am found guilty, if I get a fixed penalty notice, I'll resign. He was able to say that because he knew that it wasn't going to happen. He wasn't going to be found guilty. And sure enough, he wasn't found guilty. They've cleared him, and they've cleared Angela Rayner as well, and everyone else who was there. And of course, people on the right have been crying their eyes out. They've become snowflakes over this.
They always are. Those who claim to be the toughest are usually the weakest.
Yeah, because now, as you said, they've got nothing on him.
Nothing.
Because they were trying to push the narrative that, well, look at Keir Starmer. He had a beer and a curry. You're complaining about Boris Johnson having a piece of birthday cake. Well, look at Keir Starmer. He's just the same, or he's just as bad as Boris Johnson. But even if he did have a beer when he shouldn't have done, so to say that he's as bad as Boris is a false equivalency anyway. Because even if he had got a fixed penalty notice, that's one fixed penalty notice.
And you know what's funny? All those people who are talking trash about having a beer and a curry act like they don't do the exact same thing.
Yeah, but
I've been to your country. I've had a beer and a curry. That's like the thing to do.
Yeah, but Boris Johnson, the Tories have had over 50 fixed penalty notices. And Rishi Sunak has had a fixed penalty notice for breaking the lockdown rules that they themselves put in place. So even if Keir Starmer had got a fixed penalty notice for this. It's a false equivalency to say that he's just as bad as Boris Johnson when he was boozing it up at all these parties during lockdown.
That's the problem with the whole right wing left wing thing is that they're equivocating.
Yeah.
And in this case, you cannot get anywhere near Boris Johnson's idiotic behavior. You can't. Keir Starmer literally stopped and had a beer and a curry. Like, if you saw my daily actions during the lockdown, like, okay, perfect example. My I have my ex-wife's husband is my friend. During the lockdown, whenever we saw each other, we would sit and smoke a J with each other. We were breaking the protocols, we were, but we were, there was like literally our only human interaction, so we hang out, it happens.
Purple was asking, how is a beer and a curry a scandal? Or is this like the scandal of Obama wearing a tan suit?
To be fair, people of color have a rule where you don't wear the same thing that's the same color as you. You'll never catch me wearing a brown suit.
But it wasn't so much the beer and curry that it was the fact that supposedly they were doing this. They were breaking lockdown rules, but of course they weren't breaking lockdown rules, and it's been proven that they weren't because the Durham police, they investigated. The first time they investigated, they found nothing wrong. That no rules had been broken. But then the Daily Mail and and the Tories, they put them under pressure to reopen the investigation. So they did, and they still found that there was nothing for them to answer to. That no rules had been broken.
Exactly. I did the same thing as Purple. Like, I have interaction with like 3 people. and I hung out with those 3 people during the lockdown.
And Purple said, during the lockdown I had parties with all my friends, which totaled Sloth Girl and our cats.
Exactly.
But but the amount of copium that was taken.
When you say that now, all I picture is Pepe with the mask on and the MAGA hat. Copium. I should just walk around and give it to my neighbors.
It was pathetic. It was pathetic.
That's what's been driving me crazy about media in general, is that those two things are not equal. At all in any way. And like Keir is white bread with a side of water. He is dry, but that's okay. Still better than Boris. Everybody's talking trash about Biden, but it's like, do you have amnesia? Do you forget where we were 4 years ago? Did you lose your brain? Like, okay, Biden's a shrub. At least that shrub is not on fire. Oh dear. I question people sometimes. And this is what pissed me off about the whole Keir thing, is they wouldn't let one incident go when, like I said earlier, Boris Johnson is up in the 300-400 when it comes to lies. My favorite YouTuber, Kate Smurthwaite, I'm telling you, years ago, this is probably 4 years ago now, she was counting all the lies from Boris Johnson, and she stopped at 40. And she had a top 10 countdown, and she did 40.
Oh dear. Anyway, Charles Bronson.
So what did he originally go to jail for?
I can't remember actually, but it may say in this article here, Charles Bronson, Britain's most notorious prisoner, sends voice notes to Sky News after begging for release. First convicted in 1974, Bronson was has spent most of his life in prison. One of his crimes including taking an art teacher hostage and tugging him along with a skipping rope around his neck for 2 days.
To be fair, Charles Bronson is a human bulldozer.
Yeah.
And so I think because he can't stop beating up guards, they're probably using that. But you can't imprison someone for life if he didn't murder somebody, or if he didn't steal the gun.
Footage.
Hopefully, I've got a date soon for me public parole hearing. I'm the first man in Britain to have a public one. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to expose the system for what it's done to me. I bet you can't believe I'm still in, can you? I'm 70 years old now, Martin. 70 years old. I've never murdered anyone. I've never raped anyone. What am I in jail for? People don't believe it. They think I'm a serial killer. Anyway, it's all coming out in the wash. My side of the story. And the truth is going to shock the planet. Absolute shock the planet.
Still the governor, mate. He said that. There's a long time ago, my ex-wife and I were driving to her father's house up north, and this man got out of prison. He was dressed like the Fonz. And we asked him, we're like, when did you go to prison? He was like 1969 or something. His clothes reflected that era. He still sounds like he's from the 60s or 70s. When he said governor, I was like, oh, you've been in prison a long time, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I saw that. I'm still the governor.
He's like, I could do 90 push-ups in 30 seconds. I'm still the governor, mate. That means like my pops was like that. Like that means a 70-year-old man could beat the holy crap out of you.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. That just means he's super buff.
Yeah.
He's okay. So here's the question. Is it okay to imprison somebody who's habitually violent? Because I live in LA. Like if you flip somebody off, you could put your life in your hands. You know what I'm saying? Like people are habitually violent. So where do we draw that line? I don't think I wouldn't want to live next door to him, but I don't think he should be in jail.
But apparently he's changed. He's a reformed character, and we'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes to his parole hearing.
Would you want to live next door to him?
Not really, no.
But do you believe that he should be imprisoned?
I don't know. I don't know enough about the case, but I think he's been in prison long enough. I think he probably had. I mean, if it's true what he says, that he hasn't murdered anyone, he hasn't raped anyone. Yes, he's been violent in the past, and he was violent in prison, but evidently he's reformed.
But he's been in prison longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the humanitarian in me is like, because I live around a lot of violent people. Like where is that line of like, okay, he's a scary dude, but there's a lot of scary people out there that are walking around. I live in LA. There's people with face tattoos, like the real scary gangster type, You know, you could be at Starbucks next to some like hardcore gangster. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
So where do we draw that line in society? I feel sorry for him because he's like he's an old man. He's literally been in prison longer than I've been on this earth.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So I don't know. But like I say, I wouldn't want to live near him.
Purple saying, I believe he should live next door to my ex.
I'll pay for that. Let's go. British Airways. Let's go. I'm challenging you.
Oh dear. So what a week it's been. And but so we're going to wrap things up.
You know, I want to say this really quick.
Okay, go on.
Tom Tugendhat sound like just saying Tugendhat sounds like a sex move. Like, hey, why hasn't she called you back in a while? Oh, I gave her the Tugendhat. Oh, you're an idiot. You got to wait a month before you give her the Tugendhat. Or like, oh man, I stepped in some Tugendhat. You know, I love Tom Tugendhat's last name.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sex move.
And on that bombshell, we're going to say good night. And thanks for being here with me, Will, and thanks to everyone on the chat, everyone in the side chat as well, and everyone watching on Twitter. And we'll be back next week for more of the same. And until then, good night.
Rock out with your clock out.